You did it. You're an Emerald coach. Congratulations. Do you know how exciting that is? You have taken one of many steps in your Beachbody journey. You should be so proud of yourself. I know I'm proud of you. So, you've added 2 coaches to your business, and you're ready for more, right? You want to build your team. You want to go diamond. You're craving it. So, how do you go diamond? How do you step into that leadership role? Well, I have a 14-day training here just for you to help you start building your team. So today we're going to talk about how does attitude impact leadership. You're getting ready to start building your team. You're getting ready to step into that leadership role. One of the most important things you can do as a coach is to set the tone for your team. You want to make sure the coaches you are adding to your team coincide with the type of team you want to develop. Of course you want your team to have a positive vibe, right? But have you thought about the attitude you want for your team? When my little brother was a senior in high school, he was on this football team, and the media started calling them the comeback kids because they would play a game and they would get to the final quarter, and that's when they would shine and they would win. And I can remember my little brother winning a game and coming home feeling like he'd won the Super Bowl. He was just so proud of himself. And this team ended up going to state. The school hadn't been to state in football in years. Like, I can't even remember. And there was this awesome vibe in our community. People were excited. There was this positive feeling going around. It was just this buzz of excitement. And a lot of it had to do with the attitude of the players on the team. And they ended up going to state, and they took second. And were they disappointed? Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? They were sure proud of themselves, and the whole community was so proud of what they had accomplished in 1 year, in 1 season. Fast forward, my little brother and all the seniors graduate, and the new season starts. And there's 3 grades of boys that were on last season's team. Yet the team is just not doing it. They're not winning. It was great if they scored a touchdown. They just were having problems. And come to find out, many of the boys on the team thought they knew better. They thought they could coach better. The coach would tell them one thing, and they'd walk into the huddle and they'd say, he said to do this, but we're going to do it my way. And you know what happened? They didn't win. They didn't even go to playoffs, and they didn't go to state. Their season fell apart. And a big part was the attitude of the players. So today I'm going to give you 5 truths about attitude and how they affect your teamwork and your team. So number 1, attitudes have the power to lift up or tear down a team. Yes, you want talent on your team, but that's not enough. There are plenty of talented teams out there that never amount to anything because of the attitude set in the group. If you want outstanding results, you need good people with great talent and awesome attitudes. When attitude goes up, so does the potential of the team. When attitude goes down, the potential of the team goes down. Number 2, attitude compounds when exposed to others. Attitude is catching. When a leader is upbeat in the face of discouraging circumstances, others admire them and the quality. And they admire that quality, and they want to be like them. Look at our upline Breezy Bitter. She faces Crohn's disease every single day. Yet, she shows up with a smile on her face. She is willing to go the extra mile to help you in any way that she can, and she leads her team. She never brings her team down because she's having a bad day. People are so inspired by their peers as well. People tend to adopt the attitude of those they spend time with. It's true. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Roger Bannister, but back in the 1950s, there was a bunch of scientific information going around, and the scientists were saying that the body physically could not run faster than a 4-minute mile. And good old Roger Bannister stepped up to the plate, and he ran a mile in 3 minutes and like 58 or 59 seconds. He beat it. Not 6 months later, someone else did it. And now there are hundreds of people out there who can run a mile in less than 4 minutes. That is because attitude is contagious. The can-do attitude of Roger Bannister, it shined, and other people caught onto it, and they caught this vision, and they wanted to do it as well. So number 3, bad attitudes compound faster than good ones. You've all heard the saying that a bad apple spoils the bunch. It's true. You know, some people think it's really chic and stylish to be negative. The truth is that negative attitudes hurt rather than help that person, and they also hurt the people around them. I remember, I don't know if you guys have ever heard much about the placebo effect. I'm sure you have. There was a story about these 5 people at a baseball game who got sick, and they went to the doctor there. And the doctor kind of figured out that he was assuming that because they'd eaten at this one concession stand at the baseball field, that's why they were sick. So he had the announcer tell everyone in the stadium to avoid this concession stand. And it ended up that 200 people were sick. They came down. People were being hospitalized. Well, the doctor did a little more research and found out that the 5 initial people who were sick had actually eaten at a deli prior to the game, and that's where they ended up getting sick. But because this idea had been planted in these people's brain, all of a sudden they were sick as well. So that just goes to show you how fast attitude can spread. Number 4, attitudes are subjective, so identifying a wrong one can be difficult. People always project on the outside how they feel on the inside. So let's talk about a few common attitudes that can ruin your team. Inability to admit wrongdoings. They are never wrong. Failing to forgive. Holding a grudge is never appropriate. Petty jealousy. Each of us are created uniquely and performs differently, and we should be treated as such. But these people don't see it that way. The disease of me. Everything is about them. A critical spirit. When someone on your team has a critical spirit, everyone knows it because everyone on the team can do no right. And a desire to hog all the credit. This person continually steps in the spotlight to take a bow. Most bad attitudes are a result of selfishness. If one of your teammates puts others down, sabotages teamwork, or makes himself out to be more important than the team, you can be sure you have encountered someone with a bad attitude. And number 5, rotten attitude. A rotten attitude left alone ruins everything. You must address bad attitudes. Now, hopefully, you have picked your team well enough that you will not run into this. But what if something happens and you have someone with a bad attitude? What do? You address it. They will never go away if it is left unaddressed. They will simply fester and ruin a team and its potential. Bad attitudes will also impact your leadership and your effectiveness. See how important attitudes can be? You do have the opportunity to be picky when it comes to creating your team. Make sure the person you are adding to your team is willing to do what is expected. They're willing to go the extra mile. They're the ones that want to jump on team calls, and they want to be on the national wake-up calls because they want to learn more. They don't expect you to do everything for them. And most importantly, what they want matches with your intentions as well. They want to see your team as well as theirs succeed. So your assignment for today is I want you to sit down and list 10 characteristics that you want your team to have. This helps create the attitude and the environment for your team. I want you to create your dream team. I want you to envision the perfect coach that signs up underneath you, the perfect person. Write down their characteristics. What type of person are they? Dig deep. I bet you have a pretty good idea of what type of attitude your team will possess, but you need to have it written down, the type of person you have. And that way, when someone wants to sign up with you as a coach, you can run through your checklist and say, do they meet these things that I expect out of my team? That will help create the attitude and the atmosphere that you want for your team. Once you've done this, I want you to message your upline and let them know you completed it. And if you want, share with them. Your upline loves to hear how their coaches are feeling and what they want to see. We get excited when we see you excited. So focus on attitude for the day, and I will see you tomorrow.